Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B. My name is Callum and today we are talking about the artist Seventh Sunset. So that's right, strap yourself in because this is an interesting one. It's interesting for a few reasons and it's something that I've never really had to tackle before in deep discography dives, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. So Seventh Sunset is a brand new artist currently with about 3 albums in their discography, but due to release over 100 songs over the course of this year. That's mad, that's ridiculous. The output sounds huge. The artists themselves have said that every 25th of each month, they're going to be releasing a 15 plus song album every 90 days. That's ridiculous. That's like way too much music. How is that even possible? Have they been sitting on this music for ages? This alone started to sound quite interesting, and I started to have some kind of questions, queries to do with the music itself and how it was being made. So a bit of fair warning for you guys. The artist uses an AI voice filter on top of their own voice to create
interesting sounding vocals.
So it's not AI vocals, but it's an AI filter on top of vocals. Imagine it like how we used to do pitch correction on vocals, like the T-Pain style or something. A little bit like that. So it's not cheating in a sense of like getting someone else to sing the songs for you. That's still happening, but there is a filter on top of it, and of course pitch correction as well. All the major album drops that are coming throughout the course of the year are to do with planet names. So the first album released at the start of 2024 is Sol, which means sun. Then we have Steelbond, which is Steelbond, which is Mercury. And then we have Shachar, which I'm assuming means Venus, as we're going in planetary order. I wonder if Pluto will be in this. Probably not. So the major album drops will be planet names, and minor albums will be themed musical things. So that's where we're at so far, and there will be more to come. But let's dive into what we've heard so far this year, starting with Sol. Now, if you like your butt rock, your hard rock, your power metal, this is the kind of world that Seventh Sunset lives in. But each album does have slight variations and changes to it. Sol for me sounded like an 80s power metal kind of vibe. Everything was kind of like slow and anthemic, but also rocky and hard. For example, in a really good song that I enjoyed, Running Through the Sands of Time. It was about 4 songs into the album. How cool is this synth drop, guys? I love it. We were also given powerful, heavy-hitting riffs, such as Danger in the Air. You almost want to go, yeah! I mean, it's just classic, like, hard rock sound, isn't it? Think Dragon Force. There's those like power metal elements in there. So yeah, good stuff. Nice, hard-hitting power metal rock riff central. Really good. But there was something that I picked up on. It was something I noticed that would continue to be something that kind of not annoyed me, but was kind of there, if you know what I mean. And it was to do with the AI filtering. The AI filters themselves sounded good, but they had this almost swishy, swashy, filtery noise to them. It's almost like AI filters aren't quite there yet with perfecting like the filtering of the voice. And it sounded like everything had a noise to it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's kind of like a phasey, chorusy kind of noise to it. And it would become something that was a bit like I'm not used to, because we're not used to AI filters. This is a relatively new technology, and it was something that stood out to me loads. And that's not to say that AI voice filtering is bad. In fact, one of my favorite artists, Boy Watt, does a great plankton filter on his stuff, and it's great and it works well. But it's definitely something that I don't want to listen to loads and loads. And it made me wonder, what is Seventh Sunset's real voice like? Because the singing's pretty good. Like, could we hear that? It's not a bad thing. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's something I noticed. Because other than that, the production on all of these songs is so pristine and well put together. The sort of swashy noise that comes across in the AI filter is just a bit glaring, and it kind of became one of the only things I could focus on some of them. What I did enjoy was that each album had a slight different theme. There was this kind of power, hair metal, rock kind of element throughout all of them, but each album did have a different feature. Stillborn seemed to have a lot of songs that were topical about a weird sort of mythical creature or thing. I mean, this album had songs about crocodile chases, horses with muskets, and fistfights with gorillas. So there were some quite interesting topical themes that did make me smile throughout it.
From its deadly grin through the marshes and the swamps, I sprinted with all my might. The predator behind me, hunger in its sight. Running from the jaws of death, a crocodile's wrath, I won't let it catch me up. His growl was like thunder, his grip was so strong, but I wouldn't back down.
A favourite of mine has to be the One-Legged Viking. And then I was hit with a beautiful song at the very end of this album. It was called Father's Shadow. And it was gorgeous, really soft kind of ballad with some gorgeous singing. But it felt so out of place and like it was a completely different genre compared to all the power metal songs about certain characters.
I'm stumbling through the pieces, trying to hold on tight. But without you, I'm lost in the endless night.
Gorgeous. If you compare Father's Shadow to this, they're like different worlds, aren't they? Maybe Father's Shadow belonged on a ballad planet. So yeah, for me, Stillborn was a little step up from Soul. But still, both albums really good in their own like categories. I would say that Stillborn was quite long for an album. It's quite a demand for the listener to sit through that much kind of power metal, that kind of rock stuff for that long period of time. I would have maybe liked more change up between the songs, so have some softer songs mixed in with harder songs. It felt like it was all heavy hit, and then a soft song at the end. And maybe I wanted the album to be more like a roller coaster. But perhaps some of the songs on these albums could have been condensed. Maybe some could have been put on the back burner. And then I wondered about the output. If we're planning to do 100 or so songs, how are we managing to quickly make songs of this high caliber so fast? And is quantity always a great thing? What about a Quality Planet album with a smaller amount of songs that were more easy to digest? Because if you're a new artist and you go, here's 1,000 songs, that's quite a lot to take in, isn't it? And then we had Shachar, which was released on the 19th of April, so this month at the time of recording. Again, a long album at 1 minute 20, but worth a listen through. There is definitely some gold in there. It feels more blues rocky at times, so there is definitely a theme, but it does tend to lean back towards the comfortable power metal elements.
In this cold, dark room, I'm feeling weak and consumed. Got demons in my head, oh so loud. Where the whiskey flows.
Definitely more bluesy, isn't it? So I did like this, but there were bluesy songs, but then intertwined with like the power metal.
It's cold as stone. I'm frozen river flowing through my bones. I've been hurt.
I think I would have liked it more condensed and focused more on the blues rock element.
The days of heartache, I hear the distant cries. Oh,
That's quite Imagine Dragons-y, doesn't it?
the pain of all in the shadows.
Especially when you compare it to this.
My escape.
Feels more like a James Hetfield-esque type of metal track, doesn't it?
With every step I take, gotta outrun.
Going a bit high though, isn't it? The high pitch.
Thundercat chase,
I have to say though, Thundercat Chase was one of my highlights on this project.
riding fast.
Feels like American, like butt rock, doesn't it?
And the wind blasts, gritting our eyes.
This was a great closer. I'm a sucker for like breakdown, so when you get the double bass drum out, it just goes. What can I say about Seventh Sunset? I like it. It rocks hard. It's powerful. There's definitely great ideas there. In fact, every song is so well produced that if I heard it just off the cuff, just one or two odd songs on a playlist, I probably wouldn't bat an eye. It sounds amazing. Here's the issue. I don't think AI filters are there yet. I am all for changing your voice and adapting it. I do a lot of music production and AI filters sound incredibly fun. So I'm not against that. I'm against with the slight sounds on the edge of the voice that kind of swish and swash and kind of make it feel like I'm listening to the vocals through a washing machine. I think it's almost there. I'm eager to hear what Seventh Sunset's voice really sounds like. I want to hear that. I'm interested to find out what these other projects sound like, because if it's going to be a lot of the same kind of power metal, Viking metal-esque kind of stuff, well, I've heard that already on 3 quite long albums. What's left for me to listen to every 90 days? Where's my anticipation for each album? Artists follow a cycle of build up to a release with promotion, then the release. And actually after the release, the promotion isn't as important. It's all about the time, the cool down between releases, the build up to the next release. And that's what's really important. In today's day and age as well, we focus on maybe less songs. I'm all for albums. I grew up in the 90s. I love a good album. But it seems today's environment is focused on short, snappy EPs and singles. It's more economical to do that these days. But that being said, don't stop making albums. But to demand 1 or 2 hours per album every 90 days is a lot for a listener, and a lot for a listener to be invested in. So, if you like the sound of Seventh Sunset, please do go and check them out. Add them to your streaming service, because I think they are good. I think there's a lot of potential. I think there's loads of work going into it. Do not get me wrong when I say that AI might be helping out this music. There's still a lot of work. A massive amount of work. The production is beautiful. So, go and add it to your streaming services, guys. Let me know what you think. Is AI as controversial as I'm making it out? Is it okay? I think it's acceptable to use. Let's not be afraid to use new technologies. But AI moves on so fast. Give it a year or so and AI filters may be pristine. We saw what AI art looked like about 2 years ago, and look at it now. It's fast evolving, isn't it? So I imagine that soon AI filters will be beautiful for music. Anyway, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you know what to do. And remember, in a world where everyone wants to be heard and no one's doing the listening, be the one that does the listening. Goodbye, I guess.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
So do you really wanna fly higher than the sky? So do you really wanna fly higher than the sky?
Hey, join the members club. You get like perks and stuff, and it's fun. So yeah, go on my channel and click on the member bit or the join page or something. It doesn't work on iPhone for some reason, I don't know. Bye.